Hi, this is Chef Remy. Today I'm bringing you an authentic Peruvian dish called papa a la Huancaina. And it's so authentic that we have guest chef here, Chef Jose Luis Garcia. He's from the actual district where this dish comes from. You can't get any more authentic than that. Now here's the lineup. We're starting out with some potatoes, Serrano cheese, sort of like a farmer cheese, some yellow peppers, optional garlic, evaporated milk, saltine crackers, canola or vegetable oil, salt and pepper of course, 3 eggs, black olives, parsley, and lettuce. That's the lineup. We're going to take the potatoes and the eggs and boil them for about 20 minutes or so, boil together. And while we're doing that, we're going to prep some of the other items. So let's get started with, say, the peppers, for example. Here's 4 yellow peppers. Now, Chef Jose tells me that if you want to make it a little bit milder, you go ahead and get rid of the seeds. And if you want to make it more milder than that, then you could take and boil them for about 2 minutes. So that's 2 minutes in boiling water. Now we didn't do that here, and I didn't mind the heat that much. It was a little bit on the hot side, but not too much. Okay. Now he's going to wash them and put them in a little bowl, just like that. There's a few steps to this dish. We'll take about a half a cup of chopped parsley and have that ready to go. And that's going to be towards the end of the dish when we start garnishing. Here's a pack of saltine crackers. Here's 3/4 cup of evaporated milk. And now we have our lineup for the sauce. There's our peppers, some oil, the cheese, and by the way, they call this Serrano cheese down there in Peru, but it's kind of like a farmer's cheese. We have 8 ounces of it. There's our optional garlic, our evaporated milk, our saltine crackers, and we're going to be using about a teaspoon of salt. Now Chef Jose is going to start putting the evaporated milk going first up against the blades, followed by the cheese. And now you'll notice he prefers to cut the cheese up even though it's pretty soft. And another thing I notice about Chef Jose is that he kind of holds back a little bit on some of the ingredients. He held back on that cheese, if you notice. And he's also going to hold back on some of this pepper that he cut up. And the crackers. Looks like he's holding back on that. So I'm guessing, that he's going to make some adjustments later on. So we're going to put that in to the machine and cover it and start it up at kind of a medium speed. And we still have the oil and the salt left to go. And of course, you probably make some adjustments. Alright, so that's about 3 tablespoons of vegetable oil that he's putting in there. There goes 1 clove of garlic and 1 teaspoon of salt. Maybe even a tad more. Alrighty, the potatoes and the eggs are still boiling away. And he's going to get the dish ready, cutting up some of this lettuce and getting the base part of it ready. Checking the potatoes now. Go ahead and drain them and peel them. And peel the eggs too, of course. And there's a lineup for the dish. The parsley, the black olives, and you may want to do more than that. The potatoes and the eggs. And there's the base of lettuce. So he's going to be cutting up slices, thick slices of potato and put them down first before he puts some of the sauce on there. He's going to put about 3 ladlefuls of sauce on top of that, and then the eggs and the olives, and then finally the parsley. If you get a chance, go over to my website. Now this is a Peruvian dish that we're doing, but we've also got Chinese, Italian, French, American South, some Puerto Rican, some Cuban. Hundreds of videos at thevideocook.com. I'll display that later towards the end. And it's all organized so that you can get to all these in a methodical order. So I hope you come over and visit me over at thevideocook.com. Okay, so here comes the eggs. And then he'll be putting on some olives. And of course, followed up with a sprinkle of parsley. I myself would put a little pepper on there. Now, later on, we're going to be doing ceviche, and of course, Chef Jose is going to do it. It's really going to be an authentic ceviche. I've had a little bit of flack before, last year, because I did a Cuban ceviche, and everybody says, oh, that's not authentic. Well, yeah, sure, it's a Cuban ceviche, but this time we're going to do a real Peruvian ceviche. And there you have it. Huancaina, papa a la Huancaina. Beautiful dish, a side dish. And this is Chef Remy and Chef Jose saying bye-bye for now. Be looking forward to our Peruvian ceviche dish coming up pretty soon. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye.